What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some basketball games for Friday, June 10th, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the games. We're going to be looking at, let me grab a small screen here. We're going to be looking at Game 4 for the NBA Finals. Celtics versus the Warriors in Boston, Massachusetts. Boston leads the series 2-1. On, messing up my screen here. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here on this side is I keep track of home team win-loss records. So this would be the 85th NBA playoff game for this season in particular. And then up here is the series record. So Boston leads the series 2-1. They could become 3-1 or 2-2 with the loss. Right here is the road team, their coach's record, his playoff record, the team's season record, their road record, their postseason record as a team all time, as well as their postseason record for this season in particular. In the middle is the head-to-head record between the two teams all time, as well as for this season in particular, as well as for the postseason all time. At the bottom is the home team, their season record, their home record, their coach's record, their postseason record as a team, as well as their postseason record for this season in particular. So let's go ahead and jump right into this game. We're going to start off with the Celtics numbers, some numbers that would help the Celtics to win this game. And then we're going to look at some Warriors numbers, some numbers that would help Warriors to win this game. So starting off with the Celtics, if the Celtics were going to win this game, they can continue to sit on 38 losses for this season with a win on a day with 38 date numerology for the Gregorian. They would get their 66th win for the season as Warriors sit on 66 wins for the season. The 66 in particular, nothing jumps out at me. 66. The only thing that kind of jumps out is the 49. Just because, Celtics can get their 66 win for the season. Warriors would sit on 66 wins for the season. And then Celtics would get their 227th all-time head-to-head win against Warriors with the win to go with. 227 is the 49th prime number. We know 66 written out sums to 49. Maybe that's something to go with it. On top of that, if you write out 66, it sums to 149, the 35th prime number. And the Celtics would get their 35th home win to go with. Home teams would get their 52nd win for the playoffs this season with the win, and this is Celtics' 52nd home game for the season. And what else? Warriors coach, he would get his 35th loss for the postseason in his career. $35-17. Let's see if that's a number of some sort. 35-17. Okay, 35-17 is the 491st prime number. What does that look like, that 491? It looks like an anagram for 149, the 35th prime number. So we know 66 sums to 149. Celtics can get their 66 win for the season. They could become 35-17 at home for the season with the win. Let me throw in some math. 35-17 is the 491st prime number, which is just an anagram of that 149. And then 491 is the 94th prime number. I don't know if that's going to help at all. 94. Well, 94 actually, if you think about it, 94 is just a reflection of 49. And we know that 66 comes to 49 and 149, the 35th prime number. And I just mentioned how they can get their 66th win for the season as they get their 227th all-time head-to-head win against the Warriors, the 49th prime number. and then the 35-17, which mathematically breaks down to 94, a reflection of 49. But before that, the 35-17 is the 491st prime, which is just an anagram of the 149. So Celtics have some numbers here. It's a little bit trickier for them, but they definitely have some numbers here for them to win. What else? What else? The 36. Warriors getting a 36 loss. Nothing really jumps out at me on that one. The home team thing stands out to me because if Celtics win this and home team's going 52-33 in a Celtics 52nd home game, sitting on that 33 losses, Warriors would become 13-7 for a playoff record this season with the loss, 137, the 33rd prime number. And if you actually write onto the number 33, it comes to 66. And I guess the only thing really for the Warriors getting that 36 loss and them sitting on 66 wins and Celtics getting their 66 win for the season is if you break it down mathematically, the number 36 mathematically has a square root of 6. So 6 times 6 equals 36. Warriors can become 66-36 for a season record. Celtics get their 66 win for the season. 6 times 6 equals 36. And it's a little bit tougher. Kind of have to dig for these numbers, but that would be the Celtics right there. So let's move on to the Warriors. If the Warriors were going to win this game, Warriors have some numbers that are more surface level and that actually make quite a bit of sense, but we're going to have to see how Steph Curry is. Steph Curry is going to be playing on it with an injury. We're going to see how real that injury is, if it's really going to affect him or not. I was thinking potentially if the Warriors were going to win this game, it would be at least in my last video, I told you I wouldn't be surprised to see this series tied 2-2. And if it were to be 2-2, this is what it would look like. Today with 22 date numerology on the Gregorian, Warriors can win even the series 2-2 like 22. Celtics, they would get their 39th loss for this season. Written out 22 sums to 39. Written out 22 also sums to 165. Warriors would become 204, 165 for a postseason record all time as a team with a win. Today being a day leaving 204 left in the Gregorian year. And then, of course, 38 date numerology on the Gregorian as well. If you write out 38, it sums to 148. Celtics can go from 38 to 39 losses for the season as they become 14-8 for a playoff record this season. It's their 22nd playoff game for this season, which can go along with the series being tied 2-2 on a day with 22 date numerology. And, of course, this game is being played in Boston. It sums to 22. It also sums to 32. This is the 3 seed versus the 2 seed, like 32. And it also sums to 85. And this will be the 85th playoff game for this season. So the 85th playoff game for this season takes place in Boston, which sums to 85, 22, and 32. And it's a day with 22 date numerology, the 3 seed versus the 2 seed, like 32. And then Warriors, it's the 369th postseason game as a team. And Celtics can sit on 396 wins all-time postseason as a team with a loss. 396, 369 are just anagrams of each other. The 9 and the 6 are the only things that are flipped around. And then if we look ahead to Monday's game, which will be the 13th. So looking ahead to the 13th, there is 19 date numerology. Warriors could get their 67th win here, the 19th prime number, and head into Game 5. It's a possibility. We'll have 41 date numerology, 41. 66 sums to 41. And so Boston could get their 66th win for the season in Game 5 with 41 date numerology. It doesn't have to be Game 4. And so that's what I would contribute to either side. Like I said, the Celtics side is a little bit not as direct, but there's plenty there for the Celtics. It's just not like as direct as, say, the Warriors in the 22 pattern. So the Celtics, they have the 66-38 going on, 66-36 to 35-17. I talked about those numbers and the math that goes along with it. But Warriors have a little bit more surface level, which is the 2-2, the 22, even the score 2-2. This is the Celtics' 22nd game postseason for this year. They can get their 39th loss. 22 sums to 39. So really you have to decide, is it more of a surface level for the Warriors, even with Steph Curry potentially injured and playing? We don't know how injured he is, if it's a real injury or not, or one of those fake injuries that people talk about. I have no idea how some of these players are. I don't know if they're real or not. I just don't know. I also just don't try and figure it out. I just go with the flow of it. So I'm not going to assume it's a fake injury or not. Who knows? But if he's playing, it could be I guess maybe it's to trick the betting market. That could be a possibility, to think, oh, Steph Curry's playing injured. Oh, Celtics, easy money. And then it ends up Warriors do tie the series 2-2. It could be that way. So kind of watch the narrative on that. Watch the narrative with the injuries going into Game 4 with Steph Curry or anybody else that might be on the list. Watch out for that, because it could be a trick. It could be a trap. And at the same time, though, Celtics do have numbers here to win this game. They do. The 66, the 227, the 66-36, the 35-17. And were they up to see? I wonder what is 31? What does 31 number do? 31. Nothing with the 31. All right. Well, this is what I have for right now. I'm going to continue to look this over. I suggest you guys continue to look it over and keep an eye on the injury reports and just kind of see how people are talking about Steph Curry's injury. If it seems too overblown, it might be a trick. Or if it seems like they're trying to say he's not injured and he's just fine, that could be the trick too. You're just going to have to gauge it. You're going to just have to gauge it the best that you can. If they're hyping him up, oh, he's injured, Celtics easy win, that could be the trap. Or he's not that injured. And the opposite could be it could go either way. You can get trapped either way with that one. So be careful on it. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys watching me blab on about nothing. Hopefully this video helps. Hopefully this gives you insights to both sides of the game. Get you started on a decode, helps you along with the decode, maybe adds to a decode that you already have started. And again, like I said, I really appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you win all the money in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video.